Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
We are starting in standing. For the first 30 seconds, all we're going to do is a little bit of a transfer of weight around our feet. So, and I say that, but grab your throw pillow right away. Put your throw pillow right in between your knees and your inner thighs. And then we're just going to start to transition your weight onto the toes and the balls of the feet, to one blade edge of your foot, back into your heels, over to the other side. So we're going to go just a few times around just to kind of find that slight variation of the positioning of your body weight in your feet. Maybe take a little side to side, maybe take a little forward and back. Any little bit of movement here that helps you find that transfer of weight. And now see if you can just start to take it into a little side to side. And then see if you can take it into a little forward and back. And then we're going to try to find middle. So not too far into the toes and the balls of the feet, not too far back in the heels, not too much on one side or the other. And now find your center and take it into some calf raises. Lift your heels, lower them with control. And then we want to just watch our ankles. So we don't want them wobbling out or wobbling in. We want to keep a nice sturdy ankle position. So I don't care how much height you get, so much as go for control. All right, now we're going to keep that pillow between our thighs and start some twists. So knees and hips are going to forward. And then once you've got a looseness happening in your back, maybe over your back shoulder as you go. But when you look over the back shoulder, for some of us, that can create like a little bit of a slight imbalance in our equilibrium. So if you feel slightly imbalanced, slow it down a little bit so you can find that cervical spine turn, but not making yourself dizzy. All right, now we're going to keep that pillow between our thighs. Hands are now going to come behind the head. A slight micro bend in the knees, hip hinge, bend forward to that halfway point, and then push down into your feet to come back up. Hip hinge, bend forward, come back up, and then just do that little check in here. How is your back feeling? How are your shoulders feeling? And time, nicely done. Okay, remove that pillow just for a second, set it down off to the side. Last minute of warm up, we're just gonna do a little bounce and shake. So you're gonna just start to pop your heels a little bit, shake one arm out real good, get that lymphatic fluid moving through your body and just get that little bit of energy coming out to the edges of your skin, and then take it over to your other hand, give it a good shake. Keep bouncing, keep shaking, pick up one leg, give it a good shake. Set that foot down, maybe take it over to the other side. And then anywhere that feels good, just bounce it, shake it, move it. Notice your breath. Your breath might start to come up just by doing this little bit of bouncing and shaking. And then maybe take a couple little tosses of your arms across the chest. The first big move we're going to do is a memory squat. So we want to be able to have just a little bit of looseness in the arms so that we can have that little crisscross hold and hold our earlobes. So give your arms a little shake. Notice how you're feeling. We got 10 seconds left. Shake everything that you've got. All right, now grab your pillow again. We are going to put it back in between our knees and inner thighs, but now we're going to take it into our memory squats. So for memory squats, what we do is we cross our arms, thumbs facing out, grab your earlobes. Get a comfortable position to hold onto the earlobes. We do work with the breath for this one, and the breath matters on this one. So grab your earlobes, thumbs facing out, get your arms arranged in a way that feels pretty comfortable. Inhale, lower into your squat. Exhale to come back up. And we want to try to keep our chest and our chin lifted. Inhale as you lower down. Exhale as you rise up. That's all the work you got to do. Focus on finding that breath pattern. How far you go in your squat is going to be totally up to you. Now you can go way deep. You can go all the way down to the ground and then come back up, but only if that feels good. Breathing in and out through the nose is optimal here. If you can, you'll also keep your tongue suctioned to the soft palate of your mouth. We want the chest and chin to stay lifted. And time, beautiful. Okay, grab that pillow. We're coming right down into a tabletop position. We're moving right into some cat-cows. The first 30 seconds, we're gonna try to put our intention of movement into the hands and the arms. And then the next 30 seconds, we'll put the intention of movement down into the knees. I'll talk you through it as we go, but start by finding your tabletop position. Drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail, round your back, round your shoulders, touch into chest. So that's the basic premise of the work. Now for the first 30 seconds, see if you can think about that movement coming from your hands. So especially as you round and broaden the back, push down into your hands, find that work there. And then if you like working with the breath, it's an inhale as the belly drops, exhale as you round the back. For these first 30 seconds, push with intention into your hands. All right, now we're going to switch that intentional push. So you're going to push down into your knees to find your cat-cow. We got 10 seconds left. Our next move is going to be a little bit of a mobility stretch for the toes. So if you tend to work with your sneakers on, maybe take a second right here to kick your sneakers off, maybe even kick off your socks. And then away we go. We're going to curl both sets of toes under. You're going to pull your butt back to your heels, stretch your toes, come forward, keep the toes curled under, lift your knees, hover your table. Bring your knees down, pull your butt back to your heels, stretch your toes, come forward, lift the heel, lift your knees, hover your table. Nice. So that's 30 seconds of work. Toe stretch, and then hover your table. Nice job. All right, now the next time you come forward into that tabletop position, keep your toes curled under, but now we're moving into C-spine. So like you're trying to make a C shape with your spine. You're hugging hip to shoulder, just moving a little bit side to side. Keep the toes curled under if you can. It just changes slightly, a little bit of the focus down at the bottoms of your feet. 5 seconds left. All right, that's time. Now, if you like, take your pillow. You're going to take your pillow and place it up in between your shoulder blades or up in the upper back, middle back area. Once you've got your pillow in place, we're going to take it into some bird dogs. We're going to attempt to keep the pillow balanced on our backside, which means as we slide our limbs out and away from each other, the body or the center stays as stable as possible. Don't worry if it falls off, because pillows are awkwardly shaped and you might just rock yourself a little bit. So don't get down on yourself if it drops. Just place it back on your back and then right back to work. Extending one arm out and away, bring it back in with control. And then we want to just watch that head posture. So a slight double tuck of the chin, or just pull your chin back slightly away from the floor. Nice job. You're already halfway there. Now, if you get here and you're like, it's too hot, your energy level is drooping, slow it down or make it a lighter version of work where you just slide the limbs out and then bring them back in. So you can still find that core work without going to extremes, especially we want to monitor how we're working in heated situations. So if it's very hot where you are, monitor yourself, keep your water handy and nearby. 5 seconds left. And time. Awesome. Now, if you can, you're going to keep that pillow on your back. If it falls off, don't worry about it, but we're going to come up into a high plank position. 30 seconds of work here. Find your high plank position, and then we're going to alternate leg lifts. One leg is going to lift and then the other. You're going to keep that bit of intention of pushing down into your hands to keep your back steady and your shoulders nice and broad. You're going to keep a slight double tuck of the chin so that our head isn't pecking down towards the ground. We're staying nice and active through the upper back body. We got 5 seconds left, and then we're going to come down into a low plank position. All right, when you're ready, start by just bringing your knees down to transition in a really nice way. Bring your elbows and forearms down. Keep your pillow in place if you can. Step your feet back to that low plank position, and now we're going to take it into a saw. Shoulders are going to come forward. Press back into your heels. Shoulders come forward. Press back into the heels. You've got it. And time. Nicely done. Okay, lower all the way down onto your belly. You are going to reach up and grab that pillow just to move it out from your backside. And then once you've moved that pillow out from the backside, a nice wide position with the elbows, you're going to lift your chest, lift your head, reach back, touch one thigh, bring that hand in, and we're going to switch to the other side. Reach back, lift your chest, lift your head, reach back and touch the back of your thigh, bring it back in. So we're alternating between those two spaces. If you have tender hip points, you may choose to place your pillow underneath those front protruding hip points. Definitely for the next move, you may choose that anyways. So if you feel like your front of your body feels just a little bit tender, place that pillow under your hips, but all you got to do is lift up and reach. Nice job. 15 seconds left. And time. Awesome. Okay, now the next is going to be, so you're going to choose where you position your props. For some of us, it's probably going to feel a little bit better to put the pillow underneath your forehead. For some of us, it's going to feel a little bit better to put it under the hip points, and that's definitely where I'm going to go. But then we're going to take it into, for my yoga friends, we call it half locust. The intention is to reach through your toes, lift one leg up, lower it down, lift the other leg up, lower it down. But where you find the good work is by reaching your toes out to the end of your mat. So come down onto your belly, reach and lengthen through your foot, lift it up, reach and lengthen through your other foot, lift it up. So we want to reach and lengthen as we lift and reach and lengthen as we lower, as if you're trying to pull your big toe away from the crown of your head. Awesome job. Beautiful work. Twenty seconds left. And time. Awesome. Over onto our back, taking it into a hip bridge, but we're going to put our pillow. So you're going to play around with what is going to work best for you. Put your pillow down where your feet are going to be. It's going to be an unstable surface for the feet, which is going to challenge the hip bridge just a little bit. If you're like rehabbing or prehabbing and hip bridges are just at your like level set, maybe you don't put the unbalanced surface. Maybe you leave that part off. That'll be totally up to you. But if it feels good, you're going to place your feet on your pillow. Start by finding your hip bridge here. Make sure that that feels like a good, safe position to be in. And then we're going to add just a little extra challenge by stretching the arms up in front of the chest towards the ceiling. Push down into the feet, lift your butt and squeeze, lower with control. We got 1 minute on the clock. Take the work at your pace. If the arms stretched out in front of the chest feels like too much and you don't want that big of a challenge, but you want the pillow under your feet, play around with finding the place where you feel the happiest doing your work this morning. And time. Nicely done. Okay, the next time your hips lower down, grab that pillow with your feet. Then we're going to place that pillow between the knees and the inner thighs, and we're going to start to find our way into a bent knee corkscrew. So arms are going to come out just to give us a little bit of an anchor. You're going to drop the knees over to one side, do that bottom half of the circle, bring it into center, and then switch to the other side. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Take this work at your pace. For some of us, it'll feel slightly better to feel like you're drawing your abdominal muscles down towards the ground. For some of us, it'll feel a little bit better to keep a slightly natural curve of the back. And for some of us, it'll actually feel a little bit stronger to curl up the head, neck, and chest just a little bit. So find the place where you feel the strongest and happiest doing this work. And time. Beautiful. Okay, keep that pillow between your knees. We're going to drop the knees over to one side and we're going to take it into some oblique crunches. So then you might choose like the pillow between your thighs or underneath that bottom leg, just if that feels like a better cushion. Right hand is going to come onto the side of your belly, left hand behind the head, and we're crunching up. So we're going to keep those knees dropped to the side. You're going to lift up and lower down with control. If you like working with the breath here, you're going to exhale as you crunch up and inhale as you release down. We got 30 seconds on this side. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to take those knees and pass them over to the other side. Get your twisted position, and then left hand to the belly, right hand behind the head, and we're crunching up on this side. Five seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, legs are going to come back to center. Left leg is going to stay bent. Right leg is going to go nice and long. It's going to be 1 minute one side, 1 minute the other. We're going to go actively turning the right toe in. Arms wherever feel like a good anchor. You're going to keep that toe actively turned in. Lift the leg up. Lower it with control. The focus of the work is to keep the toe turned in. We got 1 minute on the clock. Take a nice, steady, even pace. And then if you like that, just that little bit of sensory feedback, place your hand low on that front pocket area. So think about where your front pocket is and then move your palm down and slightly off to the side. And you should be feeling some work coming out of that top side of your thigh. You're already halfway there. All right, when you're ready, set that right leg down, bent knee position. Left leg is going to go nice and long. Same work on the other side. Left toe is going to turn in, arms anchored or arms on the hand on the side of the thigh to feel that work. But we got 1 minute on the clock. We're going to actively keep that toe turned in. That's the intention of the work. How high your leg lifts, go where you feel the strongest. You're already halfway there. And time. Nicely done. Okay, now we're going to prop ourselves up onto elbows and forearms. Similar work, but now we're going to keep the toe and knee pointing up. So extend your right leg long, keep the toe and the knee pointing up towards the ceiling. You're going to lift up to knee height, hold there for a moment and hover, and then lower in slow motion. We got 30 seconds on this leg, and then we'll switch to the other leg. Lift to knee up, lift to knee height, hold and hover, lower as slow as you can. Nice job. And then I like that slightly strong upper body just to make sure that the upper body feels slightly engaged. So a little broadness in the chest, a little bit of intention in the arms. The neck is not hanging back too far or tucked too far. So we feel slightly engaged with the upper body. All right, when you're ready, bend that right knee, send your left leg nice and long, toe and knee stay pointing up, lift up to knee height, hover, lower nice and slow. Three seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, roll over onto one side and we're moving into some sideline leg lifts. Now, how you position the upper part of your body, where do you feel the most stable? Where do you feel the most strong? I find that when I stay slightly lifted, I get a little extra work in the upper body. However, I don't get as much height in my side leg lift. When I come down a little bit further, it does free up a little space in the side of my waist. So find the depth of work here that you like the best. If you come into that lower lying position, but you still want to challenge your core, you're just going to lift that top hand up towards the sky so that your core center has to support that nice side lying position. All right, when you're ready, we're flipping it around to the other side. So spin yourself around in any way that makes sense. I'm facing out to the camera, but you work yourself around in the way that makes the most sense. Either supporting the upper body, less less flight of that leg, come down a little bit lower, you get more room to move, or add a little bit of that hand lift and challenge your balance here. Nice job. And time. Beautiful. Okay, we're spinning around into position, but we're going to grab our throw pillow. We're going to lean back into that V-sit, and now we're going to do a little figure 8 pass. So we're going to pick one leg up, pass the pillow underneath, and then switch to the other side. The entire time, we're going to try to stay leaned back into that V-sit a little bit to keep those core abdominal muscles kind of kicked on the whole time. And then once you've got that going on, if you like playing around with proprioception, like where is your body connected to the space, which is a really great practice to just kind of stay tuned into your own self, you can close your eyes down here. You know where your legs are, you know where the pillow is. So challenge yourself in a different way, close your eyes, but keep passing that pillow. Nice job. 17 seconds left. And time. Woo, beautiful job. All right, we're coming up into a knee down lunge position for our mobility lunges. So you're going to come up into your lunging position, 1 foot forward. Now, if you want to grab hand weights for this last 2 minutes of work, feel free to grab your hand weights, either load up overhead or load up at the front of the chest. For the first 20 seconds, we're just letting that front knee go past the toe and then coming back up to that lunging position. We got 20 seconds of work here. And then we'll toe heel the foot out to that 45-degree angle. If your knee that's on the ground wants a little cushion, this is a great place where you can just take that pillow. It will unstabilize that knee, so it'll actually engage a little bit more of your core muscle work. All right, toe heel that foot out to about 45 degrees, and then right back to it. Let the knee go past the toe or just as far as it goes to the point where your knee feels okay. Nice job. When you're ready, we're going to toe heel it out all the way out to the side, just as far as your leg will go. That will look different on each body. So don't worry about getting any specific look in your body. Go where your edge is and then right back to it. Knee goes past the toe or as far as feels good, and then come back up nice and strong. Beautiful job. Okay, step that foot in and we're switching right over to the other side. Step your foot forward, find your lunging position first, cushion your standing leg if you need to, grab your hand weights if this is not enough work for you, going knee past the toe, and then back up to that 90-90 lunge. You've got it. And I said we weren't going to get super sweaty, but here I don't have my air on yet, and so I'm still a little bit glistening here. All right, when you're ready, toe heel it out to that 45-degree and then right back to it. Knee goes past the toe and then come right back up. All right, one last time, toe heel it out as far out to the side as your leg will go, and then back to that mobility drill, coming out and coming back in with control. Awesome. Step that knee in. We're going to move right into a little puppy pose stretch. So bring yourself back to your tabletop position and then keep your hips fairly in line with your knees. Walk your hands forward. So a nice outreach of the arms. Let your chest and your forehead sink down. So here you should feel a little stretch in the armpit, chest, in the upper back body, and then the shoulders. Soften your chest down and take 3 nice deep breaths. When you're ready, come back into your tabletop position, curl your toes under. We're going to lift up through a little down dog. So lift your butt up and then walk your feet towards your hands or your hands towards your feet. So you come into a little folded position. Once you've got that folded position, grab hold of your elbows, bend your knees a little bit so we're not yanking against the hamstrings or feeling anything zinging up into our butt muscles. Take a moment here to just hang nice and heavy. Bend your knees, push with intention into your feet. Keep your hold of your elbows if you can. And then as you come up to standing, we're just going to pull the elbows from side to side across the midline of the body. Keep your hips fairly stable. Keep your knees fairly stable. One more pull across the side of the body, and then take your right arm, bring it all the way across your body, and then nod your head up and down. One more nod of the head up and down, and then we're going to switch to the other side. Bring that left arm across your chest, drop the shoulder down, and then add that head nodding, but only if the head nodding feels good. Beautiful. One more nod of the head up and down, and then release your arm and then just come back to that little bounce and shake. Give everything a little bounce, a little shake, a little wiggle. Make sure everything feels good. And then grab your foam roller if you're sticking around. You guys are amazing. Happy Friday. Nice work today. So today we're going to do a repeater. So we're going to do one move, then we're going to do a little bit of work in between and then come back to it just to see if you get any more range of motion. So just to start, we're going to come down into a sideline position. You're going to place your knee, inner thigh over your roller, and then you kind of might scoot yourself around a little bit because the bottom arm, the red, is going to sort of connected to the foam roller. Your other hand is going to come behind that. We're going to talk our way all the way through this, but you may choose to take your glasses off. I find it's better with my glasses off. It gives my head turn some space. So you're going to come with your hand behind your head. And then here's the work. I'm going to keep my glasses on first, and then I'll take them off when we actually get to it. So you're going to reach that top elbow down towards the ground. Now reach that top elbow all the way back behind you as far as it will go. Don't worry if it doesn't touch the ground, but that is what we're shooting towards. Hand behind the head. You're going to reach down, elbow's going to touch the ground, and then reach, elbow's going to reach back. Now, if you're wearing glasses, take a second to take them off, put them somewhere safe, and then we're going to do the work for reals, but you're going to keep your head connected to the ground. So it's almost like a little bit of that headband roll where we keep the head connected. You'll roll forward, your elbow will touch, and maybe your forehead touches. And you reach back, and your elbow is going to reach towards the ground. Don't worry if it doesn't touch. Take about 3 times through. And then the next time your elbow reaches there, take an extra cycle of breath. Nice. And then release, and we're going to take it to the other side. I'm going to flip myself around so I'm facing out, but you flip yourself around in the way that makes the most sense. And this is the work that we're going to come back to after we do a little extra. So make sure your glasses are somewhere safe. Knee and inner thigh up on the roller. Bottom hand is going to anchor that leg on the roller. Top hand behind the head. Elbow and forehead are going to stay connected to the ground, or try to stay connected to the ground. Reach and touch in front. And then head is going to stay connected to the ground as you reach that elbow back. Don't worry if it doesn't touch the ground. Elbow touches forward. Elbow reaches back. One side might even feel very different from the other. So don't worry if your range of motion is slightly varied. Okay, now the next time that elbow opens up and reaches back, hang out there, take an extra cycle of breath. Awesome. And then release, come up nice and slow. If you took your glasses off, take a second to put them back on. And now we're going to place the roller so that it's in low back side body. So we're going to get into that low back side body. So we're going to find that soft tissue. The soft tissue has less bony structure, so it's not as supported. So we want our legs and our arms to help support, but we're going to roll out that low back side body. So as much body weight on as feels good to you, take a couple of generous rolls up and down. One more roll up and down, and then we're going to switch over to the other side. So you're just going to reposition yourself, reposition your roller. So we're going low back, side body. So we're in a little bit of the low back and a little bit in that side soft tissue. Once you're there, one side might be different from the other. So make sure you honor and support each side according to how it feels to you. Roll yourself up and down with as much body weight on as feels good. Beautiful. One more roll up and down. And then we're just going to come right through center underneath the shoulder blade area. So you'll reposition yourself, reposition your roller, get that roller so it's underneath the shoulder blade area, but crisscross the arms and take little rocks side to side. Especially when rock side to side at that broad, feels like the roller starts to kind of move up. So occasionally I just have to creep it back down. So if you feel like it kind of wiggles out from underneath you, you are not alone. The next, like, stay there, pick up your butt and give a couple of little micro rolls up and down. Beautiful. Set your to the other side. And then once you're there, lift up your butt, micro roll up and down. One more micro roll up and down, and then come back through center. And then we're going to move down just a little bit above the bra line, moving the roller up or moving your butt down, however you like to think about it. And then crisscross your arms, come back to that little rock side to side. Nice. One more little rock side to side. And now we're going to go hands behind the head, pick your butt up and do some gentle rolls. So think bra line up to the tops of the shoulders, but go as slow as you can. Wonderful. One more nice slow roll up and down. And then as you come back up towards bra line area, set your butt down, lift yourself up just enough. And then we're going to walk that roller up as tight up against the low back as we can. Clip your elbows over the back side of the roller and then just do little micro swishes of your knees side to side. Wonderful. One more swish of those knees side to side, and then we're going to take it back to that place where we started. So we're going to roll over onto one side, take your roller so that's underneath your knee or inner thigh, get yourself situated, give yourself a moment. And then if you're wearing glasses, take a second, put them somewhere safe. Bottom hand is going to hold place against the back of the head. And then we take the elbow forward, head is going to roll, touch and reach that elbow back as far as you can and see if you've gotten any more range of motion. No right or wrong. If you didn't get any more range of motion, don't worry about it. But it's nice to notice if you did. Roll over you, roll back and reach your elbow back. Take about 3 more times through. And then the next time your elbow reaches, so elbow is going to reach back. And with each exhale, you're going to see if your elbow can get a little bit closer to the ground if it's not already there. On your next inhale, slowly, gently, mindfully release. We're flipping over to the other side. So I'm going to flip around so that I'm facing out, but you flip yourself around in the way that makes the most sense, and keep your glasses safe, of course. Knee on the position. Top hand is going to anchor the leg. Bottom hand is going to anchor the leg. Top hand behind the head. And then away we go. Head on the ground. Elbow reaches forward, touch the ground in front of you or come as close as you can. Reach that elbow back, let your head turn with you, and reach that elbow to the floor behind you. Come forward and touch. Reach that elbow back. Come forward to touch. Reach the elbow back. Take about 3 more here. And then the next time the elbow reaches back, stay there. And then we're going to be here for 3 cycles of breath. And with each exhale, see if you can get that elbow a little bit closer to the ground if it's not already there. Awesome. And then when you're ready, slowly and gently bring everything in. Spin it around so that the roller is now underneath our front hip bones. So take a moment, if you took your glasses off, put them back on. And then once you've got your glasses, take that roller right underneath protruding hip bones. Take a second to make sure everything feels good. Elbows and forearms support, knees down on the ground. And then if it feels optimal, pick up your knees and do little micro rolls forward and back. One more little micro roll forward and back, and then we're going to roll over onto one side. So line up your hip points, turn yourself over to the right side, and then we're going to go with as much ground coverage as we can. So you're maybe coming up over your crest of your hip, like into that front side body area, and then rolling down slightly past your hip. So go up and down with as much range of motion as feels good. Beautiful. One more big roll up and down, and then come through center, roll across those hip points, get yourself lined up, and then take to the other side. Once you're on, notice how it feels. So you're going to go big ground covered. So you're going to go up above that crest and then down. Through center so that we can reposition the roller so that it's on the tops of our thighs. So get yourself repositioned so that you're on the tops of the thighs. And then we're going to go big roll. So we're going to just let our toes glide, pull your elbows forward, come across the tops of your thighs, and then roll yourself back. And then once you know what you're doing, see if you can slow it down. So go with the slowest movement you can possibly stand. Awesome. One more big roll up. And then we're going to come up through a tabletop position to roll out our shins. So prop yourself up, take your time. Pop your knees up and over your roller. Once you've got your shins on the roller, take a couple of gentle rolls, pulling the knees towards the shoulders and then pushing the knees away. Beautiful. One more roll in and out. And then we're going to find the tops of the ankles where the shins meet the ankles. And then you're just going to settle your butt back just as far as feels good. And then if it feels okay, wiggle your hips a little side to side. Nice. One more wiggle of the hips side to side. And then we're going to scoop our way up and over the roller. Roller's going to be out in front of us. Place your butt down on the ground. Step your feet up onto the roller. Lean back just enough so that you can gently roll through the bottoms of your feet. Think heels to toes, but go nice and slow. Wonderful. Now we're going to bring that roller so that right foot is going to be on the roller. We're going to go for the middle of the foot. And then you're just going to stack your left foot on top of your right foot and just get it positioned so it almost feels like it's just trying to hold that right foot in place. Once you've got that right foot in place, just a little wiggle of the toes, curl the toes up and then crunch the toes down. Nice. One more lift and lower of the toes. And then we're going to switch. Left foot's going to step onto the roller, middle of the foot. Right foot's going to stack on top just to pin that foot down. Once you've got your foot pinned down, curl the toes and lift the toes. Beautiful. One more lift and lower of the toes. And now we're going to move that roller down so that it's underneath the right Achilles tendon. You're going to get it under the right. Left foot's going to stack on top. And then you're just going to wiggle the foot a little side to side. One more wiggle of the foot side to side. We're going to unstack the left foot, move the roller up your calf just a little bit, and then restack your leg and swish the leg side to side again. Nice. One more little swish side to side. Unstack your leg, move the roller up. So think middle of the calf, restack your leg, and then come back to that rock side to side. As you get into that thicker, muscly position, you may find that it's a little bit more tender. So slow it down, make sure you're moving at a way that feels comfortable and you can breathe into it. All right, now the next time you come to that middle place, let it rest for a second, and then we're just going to do a little point and flex of the bottom foot. Beautiful. One more point and flex of the bottom foot, and then we're going to move that roller up one more time. So unstack your leg, move up to that more top portion of the calf muscle, restack your leg, and then come back to that little rock side to side. Nice. One more little rock side to side, and then we're going to move it back on down and then reposition our leg. So now left Achilles tendon is going to be on. Stack your right leg and then swish the bottom leg side to side. Beautiful. One more little rock side to side, and then come to center, little point and flex of that foot. Nice. And then we're going to move it on up just a little bit. So move up into that calf muscle tissue, restack your leg, rock a little side to side. Come to center, point and flex the foot just a little bit. Awesome. Unstack your foot, move that roller up so it's in the middle, thick, meaty part of your calf muscle. Restack your leg, swish the leg side to side. Slow this one down, especially as you get up into that thicker muscle position. Then you may find little tender points. So you might want to slow down as you roll across those points. One more little rock side to side and then come to middle, little point and flex of the foot. Awesome. One more point and flex and then unstack your leg, move that roller up again. So we're getting into that top thick part of the calf muscle, restack your leg and then rock that leg a little side to side. Nice. One more rock of that leg side to side. And then we're going to move that roller up so it's underneath the bend of both knees. Once you've got it underneath the bend of both knees, we're going to take our hands gently on top of the knees and we're just going to kind of squish around. So we have lymph nodes that are in the back of the knee, and that's what we're just kind of smushing around, livening up the back side of the knee or the knee pit. Awesome. One more little smush around and then pick up your knees, move that roller so that it's underneath the thick part of your back of your thighs, and then pick up your butt, roll up and down, but keep your knees slightly soft. If you can, you're going to turn your toes to the right just a little bit. So both toes are going to turn to the right. So you're on the slightly outer edge of the back of your right thigh and slightly outer edge of the inside of your left thigh. One more roll up and down, and then we're going to switch, turn the toes over to the left, reposition anything that you need to, and then roll up and down a few times. Beautiful. One more roll up and down, and then come back through center, set your butt down just so that you can bend your knees and then pop your butt right up onto your roller. Once you've got your butt onto your roller, nice wide position with the feet, and then rock your knees side to side. One more rock of the knees side to side, and then take it into that big roll across the glutes. So work side of the glutes to side of the glutes. The next time you come over to the right, stay there. We're going to go for a big range of motion here. So you may even get into the IT band a little bit. Feel free to roll down as much range of motion as you can find from your shoulder. So you're only going to go down as far as you have good control of and good range of motion. As you slightly get down into that IT band, just pay attention and monitor. If you get there and it's like, ooh, it gets you right away, that might be a little too much. And that might be your body's way of saying, hey, lighten up. So roll up and down a few times, just finding that nice big ground covered here. Okay, now the next time you come up to that high point where you're on that high upper part of your glute, hang out there for a minute. Let your elbow get nice and heavy. Let your legs get a little bit soft and heavy into your roller. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Maybe you get just a little bit heavier on your last exhale. Awesome. And then roll up off that point. And we're going to start to take it over to the other side. So roll across to the left. Same thing here. We're going to get as much ground covered as we can. So you might come above that hip crest and then down below the butt leg. And maybe you get into the IT band just a little bit, but monitor. One side might feel different than the other. So only go as far as feels good. And we don't want any tender points that zing you so much that you almost catch your breath. Beautiful. Now, the next time you come up to that high point, hang out there for a moment, get as much body weight on as you can stand. One side might feel different from the other. Take a breath. And then see with each exhale, can you just get a little bit heavier onto your roller? Nice. One more breath. And then lift up and off, come through center, take a moment to just reposition yourself. So we're going to get that roller to come underneath our thighs so that we can bring it back underneath our butt. So just move it out of the way so you can set your butt down and then come onto your back, pull that roller with you, lift your hips up and come into that high bridge position or that supported bridge position. Once you've got your way there, right knee is going to pull into the chest, left leg is going to go nice and long. You're going to let your left leg get as heavy as it can. So we've got a little bit of a compression in that right front pocket area and a little bit of stress or stretching in the left front pocket area. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to release and switch. Left knee is going to pull into the chest. Right leg is going to go nice and long, heel on the ground. Let your heel be as heavy as you can. So now we're compressing the left side, stretching or stressing that right side. Beautiful. When you're ready, we're going to keep our legs in that supported hip bridge position. So we're going to keep that roller underneath our hips. And now we're going to press our right palm up towards the ceiling. And then left hand is going to catch hold of those fingertips. And you're going to just gently pull the fingertips towards your heart as your wrist presses up towards the ceiling. And then once you've got that going on, you're going to do micro turns of your head side to side. But then you're going to also tune in, because if you're turning your head side to side and it's creating a tingling or a zinging up into your hands or up your arm, you're going to leave the head turn off. But if it feels okay to be here, 2 more turns of the head side to side. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch. Left palm pressing up towards the ceiling, right fingertips are going, right hand is going to find those fingertips and pull them gently towards the heart. And then once you've got that going on, come back to your head turn, but only if the head turn feels good. One more turn of the head side to side. And then as your head comes back to center, release your fingertips. We're going to lift our butt up, move the roller out from underneath our butt, but move it closer to the knees. And then we're going to finish with a little bit of a supported butterfly position. So you're going to put your soles of your feet together, and then you'll decide where it feels the most supportive. So for some of us, it'll feel a little bit better to bring the roller a little closer to the butt. For some of us, it'll feel a little bit better to bring it around the knees or maybe around the calves. So that slight subtle variation just is what feels good to the rotation in your hips. And then once you found your way there, we're just going to focus our last minute of work on our breath. So hands to the rib cage, spread your fingers, as much coverage on your rib cage as you can. And then we're just going to breathe nice and deep into the rib cage. So we're going to think about the rib cage like an umbrella. Inhale and the umbrella expands front to back, side to side, and then exhale, the rib cage draws back in towards each other. Big deep breaths in through the nose, expand your rib cage. Super slow exhales if you can stand it. One more big expansive breath. And then release your hands from your ribs. Slowly and gently come up away from the ground. Take your time as you come up. And then we're going to come up into a folded position. So if you can, reposition your roller so that it's in front of your feet. Going to find that soft folded position. So super generous bend in the knees, head nice and heavy. If you like that little fine finish, maybe you like to steamroll the tops of your feet. Beautiful. Leave your roller on the ground. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in, and then find that intention of pushing down in feet to roll your way up to standing. Take your time. And then as you come up, give everything a little soft wriggle and jiggle. Make sure it all feels good. You guys are amazing. Be sure to drink plenty of water after doing all that work.